Clark is getting back on the golf course again this offseason, participating in the ANNIKA golf outing. And she has a couple of caddies that are going to be taking the course alongside her in the form of Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull. Sophie and Lexie kind of called this shot, or especially Sophie did, back before when it was first announced that Caitlin was going to do this event.
Caitlin Clark just pulled off the most unexpected duo on the golf course. She's got two caddies, and one of them is none other than Sophie Cunningham. Yeah, the same Sophie everyone swore was on her way out of the Indiana fever. Now she's out here holding clubs for Clark like it's no big deal. Meanwhile, the WNBA offseason has gone so silent, it's like the entire league hit the snooze button. Be honest, has a sports league ever gone quiet so fast you almost forgot it existed? Let me know what you think down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more WNBA tea from Court Queens.
You could get into the comments section. You see there's Caitlin Clark with Nelly Korda, who, was impressed with Caitlin's poise on the golf course last year, even with the crowds, and said she got into women's basketball because of Caitlin. Sophie Cunningham says, Caitlin Clark, need a couple of caddies. Lexie Hull with the smiling face or whatever that is and some beer cheers. And Lexie Hull says, sign us up. And you thought that was the end of it, right? At least I did. I did not think we'd be revisiting that. Just felt like the cute little remnants of the Instagram comments section. But it is actually...
Here's the setup. Caitlin Clark got invited to a celebrity golf tournament. The perfect off-season flex for athletes when they're not grinding in the gym or signing brand deals. But she didn't show up solo. She brought some flair to the fairway by picking guest caddies to make things a little more entertaining for fans and the media. You can already tell this isn't your average golf day. It's a full-on celebrity crossover moment. If you're feeling the vibe, drop a like and stick around for what happens next, because this gets way more interesting.
Also have the GOAT, Caitlin Clark, bringing Lexie Hull and Sophie Cunningham along for the ride as golf caddies at her golf tournament.
And here comes the twist. Clark's caddies are none other than Lexie Hull and Sophie Cunningham, her own Indiana Fever teammates. The trio hit the greens laughing, carrying bags, and giving playful which club should I use advice like it's a mini vacation. It's the kind of lighthearted off-court chemistry fans love to see. Teammates bonding, showing they're more than just coworkers. But here's where things start to buzz. Sophie Cunningham's spot with the Fever hasn't exactly been secure. Rumors have been swirling. Is she happy there? Does the team still see her as part of their future? The Fever socials have been oddly quiet about her, almost too quiet, which got fans whispering that something behind the scenes might be brewing.
Now taking her talents to the golf course, where she will join Clark for the ANNIKA Pro-Am tournament next week. Unlike Clark, however, Cunningham will not play in the tournament. She and Fever teammate Lexie Hull have committed to be Clark's guest.
So when Sophie popped up beside Caitlin at that golf tournament, fans lost it. Suddenly everyone's decoding the moment like it's a secret message. Does this mean she's staying in Indiana? Is this proof the locker room vibes are solid again? Or maybe, just maybe, Sophie had an open day and thought, why not play caddy for fun? Whatever the truth is, the internet is spinning theories faster than a golf ball off a driver. What do you think this really means? Drop your take in the comments, and if you're loving the off-season drama, make sure to like and subscribe. Your queens have more hot takes coming your way.
Caitlin Clark has opened up the opportunity for both Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull to be a part of this huge non-basketball event. So again, when you talk about Caitlin Clark opening things up for other people, it's not just on the basketball court. That is the kind of
The announcement came straight from Gainbridge, the powerhouse tied to both the Indiana franchises and the Fever organization. They revealed that Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull would be stepping in as caddies for Caitlin Clark, alongside pro golfer Nelly Korda and Lauren Yen. The tournament is set for November 12th, giving fans a week to hype themselves up for the hilarious sight of basketball stars trading sneakers for golf shoes. But honestly, this should be getting way more attention than it is. A year ago, If someone said Caitlin Clark was hitting a celebrity golf tournament with her Fever teammates by her side, the internet would have exploded. National headlines, non-stop social media buzz, think pieces everywhere. Now, crickets. It's just quietly happening, and that silence says a lot about where the WNBA's off-season energy has gone. Let's be real, last year, the league was unstoppable. Record ratings, packed arenas, constant viral moments. It felt like the WNBA was on the edge of a breakthrough. And at the center of it all, Caitlin Clark, fresh out of college, lighting up every broadcast she touched. Her games drew millions, her interviews went viral, and fans who had never even watched women's basketball before suddenly cared. The momentum was massive. Fast forward to now, and somehow that fire's faded. The off-season feels like a ghost town. No trades making noise, no exciting announcements, no big narratives to keep fans engaged. The energy that Caitlin and the Fever created just evaporated. That's a big problem, because casual fans, the ones who were just starting to fall in love with the league, needed reasons to stay. Instead, they got radio silence. And part of that silence comes from how the league handled the Caitlin Clark effect. During the season, instead of celebrating the momentum she brought, the conversation around her turned toxic. Every game seemed to spark drama. Teammates throwing shade, analysts dissecting her popularity, fans divided over whether she deserved the spotlight. For people who just wanted to enjoy good basketball, it became exhausting. Someone in NBA media even said that in the WNBA right now, it almost feels problematic not to dislike Caitlin Clark. Which is wild. In the NBA, guys like LeBron James get criticized all the time. And those critics are labeled as trolls, not moral heroes. But in the WNBA, the vibe somehow flipped. If you don't join in on bashing Caitlin, you're suddenly seen as out of touch. That kind of environment doesn't help anyone. Not the players, not the league, and definitely not the fans. So here we are. The off-season that should have been buzzing is instead eerily quiet. A story that should have been a fun, viral crossover moment, Caitlin playing golf with her teammates, barely makes a ripple. That's how much momentum has slipped away. The Sophie Cunningham piece adds another layer, though. She's not just another name on the roster. She's toughness, experience, and shooting all in one. She's the kind of player young teams like the Fever need to keep steady. But for whatever reason, parts of the fan base have turned on her, and it's had nothing to do with basketball. That kind of unnecessary drama has been choking the league's vibe lately. Now, Sophie showing up as Caitlin's caddy could mean a lot of things. Maybe she's happy with the team, maybe it's a sign the locker room chemistry's strong, or maybe it's just two teammates supporting each other at a fun event. But because there's nothing else happening this off-season, fans are overanalyzing it to death. Lexie Hull's presence? Totally natural. She and Caitlin have a good bond, and she's always been that supportive teammate who brings positive energy. No hidden meaning there. Just a player having a little off-season fun. Still, all this highlights how different things feel compared to last year. Back then, anything Caitlin did, from a tweet to a training clip, was headline material. Now, she's literally playing in a celebrity tournament with major names, and barely anyone notices. Sure, it's normal for hype to settle over time, but the WNBA couldn't afford that drop. They had to turn casual curiosity into lifelong fandom, and they didn't. Social media is part of the problem too. There's so much noise, like fans who stan players online but don't actually watch games. The comment about Paige Bucher's fans acting like K-pop stans who just retweet edits instead of showing up for viewership? Honestly, not wrong. Likes and hashtags don't fill arenas. Metrics do, and right now those numbers are sliding. It's wild to think that a year ago, if Lexie Hull had been named Caitlin's caddy, ESPN, Bleacher Report, everyone would have been talking about it. Now it's just another passing headline. That's a serious missed opportunity. The players did their part. Caitlin brought unprecedented attention. But the league didn't capitalize. Now the off-season feels lifeless. The hype that once felt unstoppable is gone. And that should worry anyone who loves women's basketball. The Fever's social media barely even acknowledging Sophie adds to the weirdness. If she's part of their core, why not promote her? Either it's a PR blind spot or something deeper, but either way, it feeds speculation that never needed to exist. The truth is, the WNBA had lightning in a bottle, a golden window to expand its audience, and somehow let it slip through their fingers. Poor media strategy, unnecessary infighting, and a complete lack of off-season storytelling have put them right back where they started, fighting to be noticed. This Caitlin Clark golf story should have been a fun, lighthearted headline that kept fans connected during the downtime. Instead, it's proof of how quickly the buzz can fade. Hopefully, the league figures out how to keep the spotlight alive before next season tips off. Because right now, the off-season feels like everyone just forgot the WNBA even existed. Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexie Hull walking the golf course together should have been a viral moment. Instead, it's just background noise. If you're still rooting for women's basketball to win big, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe. Because here at Court Queens, we're keeping the spotlight shining even when the league won't.